NFL. J-Man, what has you fired up on this Friday?
Matthew Stafford and what's going to happen this weekend. We're going to come in on Monday and we're going to say Matthew Stafford is in the lead for MVP. You know why? He's going against the Baltimore Ravens defense, which is last in touchdown passes allowed and second to last in yards given up. Matthew Stafford, go have yourself a day.
Grouse, what has you fired up on this Friday?
I came out last week thinking the Patriots are a real contender. I think the Patriots are ahead of schedule, and here's why I say that. Drake May looks like he's taken more than one jump since last year. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, you want to talk about a guy who's scheming it up. In the glory days of the Patriots, they could tailor their game plan week to week based on the opponent. McDaniels is doing that with a second-year quarterback who is executing it at a high level. Patriots win in Buffalo last weekend. They are scary.
There's nothing more valuable in the NFL than elite coaching. Harry, what has you fired up?
Well, number one, there's this saying, judge not and you shall not be judged. We judged the Detroit Lions in their first week in their loss versus the Green Bay Packers, only for them to be the best team in the National Football League currently right now. Kelvin Shepard as their new defensive coordinator, the way he has those guys flying around, making plays, getting out the field on third downs, they're top 5 in sacking the quarterback as well. But John Morton, offensively, he's figured it out and has that offense humming.
What a good game that is coming up on Sunday night. Lions and Chiefs. Could it be a Super Bowl preview? Chiefs have some work to do to get there. Give me one quick take on this game Sunday night.
I love what we've seen from this Chiefs offense. Yes, they didn't win the game this past Monday night, but we've seen the explosive element since Xavier Worthy has been back. Hopefully he gets a little bit healthier towards the end of this week, and he's there on Sunday.
This is the last game they'll play without Rashee Rice. Remember, he's suspended 6 games. This is their 6th game. Let me get Joe Fortenbaugh back into this with his best bet. He's our betting expert. What am I looking at in this game here? The Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, and Kansas City's the bet here. Money's been coming in on the Chiefs. We were down around 1.5. We're moving up for good reason. J-Mac just hit on it. The offense is back. Last week they looked fantastic. Now, what will happen is people will look at the score, see they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and think it's still a problem. Go inside the box score. That's where you find the value. Look at that right there. 157 yards the Chiefs outgained the Jags by, plus 7.6 in yards per play. That's a fantastic result, but 99-yard pick 6 is going to doom them. They're playing a Lions team this week that everyone just assumes is back. Everything's fine. Forget about week 1. What have they done since week 1? They beat the Bears, the injured Ravens, the Browns, and the Bengals. Huge step up in class here. We lay it with Kansas City inside of 3.
That's why we lean on Joe Fortenbaugh. He says the play is Kansas City at home. All right, here we go. I could tell from your face you knew
I remember the game.
But I feel like I've been listening to the conversation here like you may be talking yourself into a different answer. Let's see.
No.
The Giants hadn't beaten a defending Super Bowl champion in a very long time. We mentioned it earlier this morning. Who was their quarterback in that game?
Yeah, it was Kent Graham. But what's interesting about this is, like, he wasn't really the Giants quarterback. Hembo was just saying, like it was Danny Cannell for most of that year. They were coming out of Kerry Collins, Dave Brown. But that particular game, the Broncos were 13-0, defending Super Bowl champions, talking about going undefeated, and they lost to Kent Graham and the Giants.
That is very much correct.
I know.
It was week 15 of that year. You're right on everything. Graham started 6 games that year. Danny Cannell started 10.
Yeah.
And it was the Giants who got the win. And so Hembo, once again, on a night where his football team and his baseball team lost, he also loses to Graziano. Can I throw one other thing into the conversation here? I want to shout out. Oh, we got Trader Mike in the studio here. Mike Tannenbaum is with us, our general manager. We gave him the assignment of figuring out. Shefty told me the other day, we're going to have more trades leading up to the trade deadline than we are generally accustomed to. So I asked Mike to put together some trades. It has, we've already, obviously, Joe Flacco got traded and he's starting this week, which is ridiculous. But that's a whole other topic for a whole other time. But just for one quick note, because if I'm maybe the Giants fans are waking up this morning and thinking we're not giving them enough credit. We've been heavily on the Eagles this morning. My friend Michael Book, who is a crazy Giant fan, texts me, the Giants are a 64-yard field goal with no time remaining against the Cowboys away from being 3-3.
Yep.
We need to be giving them a little bit more love than we are giving them. So I just wanted to throw that out there. The Giants, when they've been bad, what is the little girl with the curl? When they're bad, they're very, very bad. But when they're good, they're actually pretty good, right?
These guys don't get
What
it.
girl is that?
I don't know. Am I getting that wrong? It is an expression,
they're
right?
fun and they're promising and they have good players. Like that defensive front is for real.
Okay, so that's the Giants side of it. Mike T, we have been talking about the Eagles side of it. You're watching last night through a general manager's lens. If you were to put your fingers on the biggest problems with the Eagles right now, what are they?
Yeah, it's that defensive line of the Giants taking advantage of the Philadelphia offensive line. Landon Dickerson was out, and Toth came in, and he was poor at left guard. And then depth at the corner position. When Quinton Mitchell went out, and it was Kaylee Ringo on one side, Dory Jackson on the other, Greeny, you saw Jackson Dart throw the ball confidently.
So that's the point maybe here, is that the Eagles, as they lose pieces, suddenly they have these vulnerabilities that they generally didn't have last year. So let's put Mike to work at what we asked him to do, and we'll start with the Eagles. Is there a trade? All of a sudden we saw they're like sliding in the odds and everything else. Is there a trade they could make you think would help them?
Greedy, they should trade for David Njoku, tight end from the Cleveland Browns, for a fourth-round pick. And when you look at the Eagles, when we talk about that offensive line, where does it manifest itself? They are 27th in the NFL on third down conversion, and they are 22nd in explosive play rate. David Njoku, the one thing he can do, he can make plays. 371 catches in his career, 31 touchdowns. He would help fix this Eagle offense.
You like it?
No, I don't like it because Dallas Goedert had a good game last night, and he's still on the Philadelphia Eagles. So why am I trading for another tight end and I'm having issues in my secondary?
Well, I would just tell you, like, they need another weapon right now, and maybe going 12 personnel with two tight ends.
No, Mike T. They don't need another weapon.
get the ball the weapons
they
they
need
have.
to figure out the identity of the offense. They don't need another weapon. They have weapons galore.
So are you telling me, if I'm reading what you're saying, you're telling me the identity of the offense should be to have multiple tight ends on the field and play a little more power and try and find those mismatches?
Absolutely, Greeny. And that versatility, if you have David Njoku and Dallas Goedert with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Saquon, that's about as
But they
good.
already seem to have like an embarrassment of riches at the skill position player. My question is, when you see A.J. Brown in the locker room last night, and clearly they have a meeting amongst the three leaders on that team, and now the way he's acting, the stuff that's going on there, as a general manager, do you feel like you've got a mess on your hands, whether you go out and trade for somebody else or not?
I bring him in and just say, hey, our interests are aligned, AJ. You can help us win games, but we have to do it within the flow of the offense. It may be 5 touches in the first quarter. It may be 5 in the fourth quarter. We won a championship last year. You're a meaningful part of it, and you have to close the door and air out your grievances and solve problems. You have a mini bye. Now's the time to do it, Greeny.
Okay, so as is usually the case, the GM makes a deal and the players are disgruntled. So we don't like the first one. Give me the next one. What is the next trade you are proposing today, Trader Mike?
Breece Hall for a fourth-round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. Greeny, you may not know this. The Jets are off to a slow start. He's in the last year of his contract. I don't know if he's going to be extended. If we're rebuilding, Greeny, don't we want another draft choice? And if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, this guy is an explosive playmaker. This is desperately what the Chiefs need. So why not, if you're the Jets, Greeny, why would you not want to do this?
I think
I don't want to do anything if I'm the Jets at this point. I want to stop paying attention to what they're doing. No, it does seem obvious they're going to trade Breece Hall. Right? There's no reason to keep him. At this point, this is a team that needs to start breaking it down.
Yeah.
The tragedy of the Jets, if I may have 1 second on this and then we'll move off of
Yes.
it, is that they're not nearly bad enough to be this bad. The Jets have much more talent than they have played. It's what I posted last week that people generally misinterpreted when I said they're nowhere near the worst team in the NFL. They just play like it. The problem is they're playing so badly that they will now start tearing it down before they build it up. And frankly, Breece Hall and the Chiefs would be spectacular.
Yeah, but I also don't like this trade. They drafted a guy by the name of Brashard Smith, who has a unique skill set. He can run the football, he can catch the football out of the backfield, and you see every week Andy Reid is incorporating him in the offense more and more.
We're going to have him.
he's a specific kind of player for them, though, right? I mean, this would be to replace Pacheco, who's not getting it done right now. Like, that would be kind of the.
We're going to
the
have to have
reason for
a
move like
players-only
this, right?
meeting between Tannenbaum and Harry at some point here. Okay, you're 0 for 2 as far as Harry is concerned. Give me one more big trade.
All right, this one's a no-brainer. Max Crosby for a second and a fourth-round pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, guys, by the way, haven't had a Mecca Buka, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin together. Championship offense. We know how great Matt Crosby is. He's only 28 years old. And again, we know the Raiders are not going anywhere this year, guys. So they can rebuild 2 good picks. And if you're the Bucks, let's go for it right now.
What do you think about this one, J-Mac?
Finally, I got you, Mike T.
Thanks,
I love this one. If you're trading for defensive players that can change the entire game, we're seeing highlights from this Bears game. Max Crosby was all over the field. Get him out of Las Vegas and get him on a team that can win some games. I like it, Mike T.
I guess my only question on this is there was a time when Myles Garrett was getting traded last offseason, and we were talking about multiple firsts and all that kind of stuff. Max Crosby would only get you a second and a fourth?
Well, the durability is a little bit of an issue. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to get. Well, yeah. But if I'm the Buccaneers, I would pay the premium. And if I'm the Raiders, it's better than nothing.
I like this one.
Trader Mike making deals. You finally got Harry on your side, so how